I'm watching yet another area for potential development here on Saturday morning right near the Philippines. Now, in Invest 92W, I would not be surprised if Pagasa upgrades this to Tonyo over the course of the next 24 hours. So maybe by the time you're watching this, this has been upgraded. Meanwhile, Atsani still out here impacting Taiwan, but of course I want to talk about this guy. It's hitting this area which has already been impacted by multiple storm systems. I mean, we've had about 6-7 storms over the last month and a half come across the Philippines and eventually over here towards Vietnam as well. This is just relentless. And of course, Goni less than a week ago just absolutely devastated southeastern Luzon over through Catanduanes. And if you get any more impacts on top of that, one, the ground is saturated, so you get that threat of flooding. And then two, you're already picking up the pieces. There's numerous locations here where people just don't have roofs on top of their homes. So even if this is not a typhoon, it definitely can provide some pretty significant impacts here. So I want to talk about this storm system, and I really hope the best for everybody out ahead of it. Take a look at some of the convection already coming on shore there in southeastern Luzon over to Samar, down through Leyte as well. In fact, ASCAT imagery does show that onshore flow, and that's going to be one of the big things I want to talk about here. It's because we have a high pressure area towards the north, our low pressure developing here. So even though the winds are continuing to wrap around that center of circulation, I think the max winds are actually going to be spread out a little bit further towards the north. By the way, if you're looking at this and going, Robert, this is a useless model, this is actually real-time imagery from a polar orbiting satellite, and it kind of takes this in stripes. So I can't, it didn't make a pass over here, unfortunately. So this is missing data, but it did rate in here, and it does show us kind of that wind, and it shows us a little bit of a circulation rate there. It takes basically the movement of the waves, because you don't see this over land as well. It takes the movement of the waves and gives you a general idea of what the winds are doing. Absolutely love that product, but it only works so well. But it does give us a good idea that there is a low-level circulation developing here, and the max of the winds stretch well off towards the north. That's going to be key when I show you some of the model guidance here in just a second. So let's talk about this. So we have our low pressure here, high pressure towards the north. Look at this model, the winds basically stretching all the way off here towards the north as we go ahead into Saturday morning. And as we go ahead into Sunday though, you basically see those higher winds, northern areas of Samar, and unfortunately Catanduanes on the east coast, southeastern Luzon, stretching up through eastern Luzon and northeast Luzon as well. It's basically gale force conditions, 20 to 30 knots, all the way up there with the higher winds down here towards the south, and of course heavy rainfall, well over 100 millimeters very well possible on top of already saturated ground. Might even have loose ground from the previous storm. We saw lahars here in southeastern Luzon could loosen up and even cause that threat of landslides. It's nothing like a typhoon, guys. So don't compare this to a typhoon, but definitely comes with its own bag of problems. This is as we go ahead here into Sunday morning. Have our low pushing over towards Mindoro now, northern Visayas. Still got that stretch of gradient-induced winds back here towards the north, which is going to be continuing to help influence that onshore flow, meaning the east coast here continuing to see that rainfall, gale force conditions as well. If you're down here, maybe in Cebu, northern areas of Mindanao, completely missing out on this guy. So that's just kind of the general track, what I'm seeing right now, where the worst of the impacts are. So when you see the track come out from Pagasa, for example, and it looks just like that with the center line, and you're thinking, okay, I'm in Bicol, for example, I'm picking up from Goni, I'm going to miss out on this storm, right? Unfortunately wrong. Yeah, the center is passing towards your south, but it's just that wide gradient-induced flow well off towards the north. This is, by the way, is heading into Sunday evening. So by the time we get through the end of the week and heading into Monday, this is going to start to move over the South China Sea. And you can just see that overall flow with the northeast monsoon pushing down through when you're still seeing rainfall, even in the Sunday evening, back here towards the east because of that monsoonal flow. The winds will let up a bit, but you still have that monsoonal flow. And by the way, I did mark another area kind of embedded in this same train of circulations coming in out of the tropics that is potential here. Now, this is not even an invest, not even a low pressure area. It's an area of convection back here towards the east, but it is worth watching. So here's the ECMWF total rainfall potential. And some of these darker areas and the purples, kind of see it down here, this is indicating upwards of 200 to 300 millimeters of total precipitation here from Samar to Leyte as well, and even stretching over towards Mindoro, and also stretching basically all the way up the northeast coast of Luzon. It's where you got that just consistent onshore flow east of the Sierra Madre Mountains. Now that's the thing, east of the Sierra Madre Mountains, Manila, thanks to the rain shadow from those mountains, may miss out on this storm completely. So at this time, here's the keynotes. Don't expect a typhoon out of this. Could, if agencies are aggressive, get to a tropical storm, but I think a tropical depression, at least over the Philippines, I'm pretty confident on that. Look at this convection. This, to me, in my eyes, I look at this, I see a tropical depression right now. But you gotta wait for the agencies to catch up. All right, so here's our other area. That is Atsani, known as Shawnee in the Philippines out here. Pretty decent circulation around this as it skirts the southern coast of Taiwan. This is something you always see though. Right here, there's a mountain range, pretty steep, one pretty thick, steep mountain range in southern Taiwan. Absolutely beautiful. I absolutely love this place out here, especially along the east coast. It's so scenic. But those mountains stop any form of precipitation. That's why you can see this. Look at the west coast, look at Taipei, not much rainfall. The east coast, though, it hits those mountains, orographic lifting. When air rises, it cools, it condenses. We typically get tremendous rain totals out of systems like this when they hit Taiwan. So far, about 400 or 500 millimeters has been reported. Here's the thing, as we go ahead into Saturday morning, the northeast monsoon basically wipes Atsani off the map here. So yeah, the tracks do pull it further towards the southwest, but it's going to be sheared to pieces over the weekend. Much needed rainfall, by the way, for Taiwan. Unlike the Philippines and over through southern Japan, Taiwan has not got hit by any storms this year. And the storms they cause flooding, they cause damage, but as we know in the Philippines as well, same problem. When you don't get any rain, the reservoirs start to dry up, and we've been seeing that a problem in Taiwan because of the lack of precipitation. It's just this balance. A few years ago, we had too many storms, and they had to start releasing it from a few of the dams because they were just straight up maxed out. Anyways, guys, if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, please let me know in the comment box below. Follow me on all the social media platforms. If you have not subscribed, I highly recommend it because it just helps out here. Recently, I have gotten a big boost in subscriptions, and it's nice. There's this feedback and also very encouraging, so I'm going to keep on putting these videos out. One other thing, earlier today, I did a screencast, and you might notice I'm a little slow right now. It's because I had eye surgery yesterday, LASIK. So it's a problem because there's LED lights all on me. If you ever seen my behind the scenes videos, I got like 4 LED lights shining right now, and everything. My eyes kind of hurt a little bit. So if you notice my eyes were red, no, I don't have pink eye or anything like that. I literally had surgery on my eyes just yesterday. So yeah, that's that. Anyways, stay safe out there, and as always, thanks for watching. All right, bye.